Good day. In this video lesson, I'm going to discuss the theoretical framework in relation to your academic research. Theoretical framework, you explain the theories that support your research, showing that your work is grounded in established ideas. The goal is to present and explain theories and models that have already developed before you start your research. How to create a theoretical framework? First thing to do, you have to identify the key concepts for your problem statement and research question. Say, I have this problem statement. As several local government units and private schools are requesting to hold limited face-to-face classes in low-risk areas, President XT, this is hypothetical, on Tuesday approved its conduct starting next year. Secretary of Education noted that limited face-to-face classes will only be allowed upon the request of the LGU and school and concerned and can only happen January 2021 under conditions set by the DOH, DepEd, and IATF. In writing your problem statement, you have to write first in your first paragraph, which is the ideal or what is already known or what is being established. Okay, the second paragraph, the content of the second paragraph is the reality. However, on the preliminary investigation, there are some stakeholders from XY school, including the teachers, students, parents, and people from the community with low level of consents. Their consents on the limited face-to-face class in low-risk areas for COVID-19 are affected by different factors resulting to hesitancy. That is the reality. Okay, the third paragraph in your problem statement, the content is the consequence. How will you address the problem to go to the ideal? For this reason, okay, this is the consequence. For this reason, the researcher would like to determine the level of consent of the stakeholders and factors affecting on it. In determination of those factors and consent, it is possible for the right authorities to make a modified policies and guidelines that will increase to the level of consent of the stakeholders. Okay, that is the consequence. Doing that, you can from reality you can address it will address to the reality to go to the ideal. Okay, the sample problem, some stakeholders from XY school have low level of consents affected by the different factors on the implementation of limited face-to-face class in low-risk areas. Objective to identify the level of consent of the stakeholders from XY school and determine the factors affecting on it in order to make a modified guidelines and policies that will increase to their level of consent. Research problem, what is the level of consent of the stakeholders from XY school and the factors affecting on it. The concept of, this is now my key concept based on the problem statement and uh, objectives, problem statement rather, and research problem. This is now my key concept, which is the consent of the stakeholders from XY school and the implementation of limited face-to-face class in low-risk areas for COVID-19 are clearly the central of this study, meaning the implementation of the face-to-face and the consent of the stakeholders. That is now my key concepts. The second step, you have to evaluate and explain the relevant theories. You have to do the literature review. You have to conduct thorough literature review. You can determine how other researchers have defined and drawn connection between these key concepts as you write theoretical framework. Aim to compare and critically evaluate the approaches that different authors have proposed. Okay, you have to find different articles, different research that are already published, and then do the review. in relation to your key concepts. The third one, show your research fits in. Apart from discussing other people's theories, the theoretical framework should show how your own project will make use of these ideas. Okay? Combine different theories in a new or unique way, or find the best theory that will fit to your study, then combine that in a unique way. In finding class, you have to critique that if that is totally suited or fit to your research study. Okay, I have here now my theoretical framework. Stakeholders are carrying anxiety and fear into this new year of COVID-19 uncertainty. They are also carrying ideas and resources. The goal is always to create a positive atmosphere for learning growth in all programs and activities in a new year of hope and opportunity. The only true way to work through this is to connect with each other, all stakeholders in open and transparent dialogue. Gilchrist and File 2020, you have to do the citation up to for you to not to be plagiarized. According to MAG 2020, stakeholders meetings, workshops, and other events help us deepen dialogue and develop our understanding of important societal issue. The interaction help us build their capabilities, facilities, collective action, and promotes trust and mutual respect. Moreover, each time education leaders need to make decision, they can choose one of three options: inaction, relying on their own opinions, or reaching out to school stakeholders. The last option has several benefits to consider, like possibility to make significant decisions quickly and at a lower cost. Further, support from interested parties participating in the decision making, increasing awareness and obtaining more ideas, better outcome and improvement of trust and respect for the educational leader on the implementation of program in activities. Kulisnikova 2020. Okay, I have now my theoretical framework. Okay, I have here the Gilchrist and File stakeholders consent. From my three literature, I will choose one, which is this one. Stakeholders are carrying anxiety and fear into this new year of COVID-19 uncertainty. They are also carrying ideas and resources. The goal is, as always, to create a positive atmosphere for learning growth in all programs and activities in a new year of hope and opportunity. The only true way to work through this is to connect with each other, all stakeholders, in open and transparent dialogue. From this chosen literature, which is suited to my research study, I will now make a theoretical paradigm. Okay, this is my theoretical paradigm that is based on the chosen literature. We have here uh, stakeholders consent, open and transparent dialogue, or the communication. Then I have here now the provide positive atmosphere for learning and growth, then programs and activities. Okay, you have to figure out what are the different symbols in making theoretical framework and conceptual framework. Here I use the arrow because it describe that there is a relationship on the stakeholders' consent, open and transparent dialogue, and provide positive atmosphere for learning and growth and program and activities. And I combine this one, I combine the provide positive atmosphere and program activities. I connect that because it represents that it is only one. Okay, hope that you learn in my video lesson. Good day, goodbye, and thank you. That's all.